Hello, friends. Welcome. Today I'm going to talk about Father God, his sons, Christ and Citadel, and his friend Octavius. Well, Father God come about from the singularity. He was 9 foot tall, bullet-shaped, as a spatial being might be, and had a green aura. Now, much later on, he waited for the universe to cool, and he waited billions of years for it to start forming suns and planets when it got cool enough to do so. Then he went on to creation eventually, but sometime just prior probably to his first creation upon here, the earth, Christ and Citadel come about, and two parts come away from God. On one side, come about Christ, and on the other side come about Citadel from Father God directly. And they were 6 foot tall. Christ had a gold aura and Citadel had a purple aura. Sometime later on, Father God wanted a friend rather than two sons. And a part, I assume, come away from him again, and it was probably 6 foot tall and Octavius. I don't know the colour of his aura, but I tried to find out, and I kind of got an inkling it might be blue, but not sure. Anyway, the names Christ and Citadel have a meaning, and Christ means the safe haven, and Citadel means the safe retreat. And as they started off as anybody else, a blank as a baby would be. They didn't know anything, so Father God's taught them a great deal of what they know and their own experiences of life, and learnt from the beginning. But when they become mature enough, Father God gave them an inert facet each and Citadel didn't tell me what it was, but he told me he had an inert facet each, and I believe if that's joined together, it would be God power. They'd become gods, but only as protectors if the need arisen rather. So yeah, they're protectors of us and all God's realms. So not only the earth and our spirit realm, but other planets and other spirit realms. Citadel told me he had an ability to repulse an attack by God. Well, Father God's never going to attack him. Christ, no doubt, the same. Probably Octavius too. I don't know if Octavius has an inert facet, and Peter never told me. But it then went on. Citadel said, that to me, and I thought, well, I know Father God, and Citadel said to me, I've heard Father God myself calling out for his father, so Father God entertains there could be his father out there, another God. Doesn't know, because never been answered. But that's the way life is, I'm afraid. So Father God entertains that could be one or more other gods out there, and Father God come about with both natures of light and dark in him, but he is a God of light and love. But he, knows that if other gods revealed themselves to him, he might have to go and see them, but he can leave many parts of himself in many places. And ultimate power he has. But it was just a safety precaution that he gave them an inert facet each in case he had to go somewhere and was out of communication, that they could look after his realm. Not only can they are protected from an attack by a god, that they can also join their powers together and become God or a protector of all God's realms if needed. So that's the way it is. Now, the earth was Father God's first creation, and Peter said that himself, Citadel, and Christ were there and watched Father God create, and it was just the earth had already formed around our sun. Father God has not created the universe. It's the remnants of his own coming about, the bits that weren't needed. But a good place to create to start off with. God believes in natural evolution. So creating spirit realms, life in the spirit realms was not in his agenda, because he whatever brought him about had evolved to do so. The universe has evolved into what it is today. So if life could begin, it would begin on physical worlds without his creation, wouldn't it? And it can't, because the only life out there is spiritual. You have to be spirit to be alive. So you must have spirit within you. So the natural place was always going to be within the universe to create life to begin with, to then make the transition into the spirit realms after that. So it has to have spirit within it. So Father God put all the right ingredients on the earth that a trigger of life would happen, probably blue or green algae, oxygenators, because for life to be here, it needed to be oxygenated, this world. And so he gave it the spark of life when it came about. And he had taken a part of himself, a small part, a spark of spirit, and blessed it, or whatever he did, to divide and subdivide and continue to divide and subdivide, and all the bits dividing and subdividing. So there's billions, trillions of sparks of life somewhere that Father God looks after, and each new life gets a spark of life. Even me, I've got a past life spirit, but it's dormant. This new life that I am, and I've had 5 past lives, this 6th life has got a new spirit. Each of my new lives got a new spirit, and when you get awoken to that in the spirit realm, you have 6 spirits joined together, so that's a lot of energy. So yeah, that's the way it's happened. Father God's come about. He's been patient, waited for the universe to cool. He's created on the earth, and Peter said after God had created on the earth, he went on to create another 199 worlds. And no doubt today they've all got humanoids on them like this world, and much abundant life. And so each has their own spirit realm. There's no others in our own spirit realm from other worlds. So each must have their own spirit realm. And Peter told me, Octavius, which he knows me, Octavius, and, live in the same place in the spirit realm we all did, because I'd evolved to plane 10 where they were. So Christ, Citadel and Octavius all lived on plane 10 at one point. But Octavius asked Father God if he could go and look after another spirit realm. And so he does. He looks after another spirit realm somewhere. And Peter said he wants to come see me during my awakening. Octavius come, and as he was coming to see me, Peter said he's a bit different from us because he's a lot more portly. So the people of that world are probably slightly more portly than what we are in general. So, the variation of life on each new world, everything's a little bit different, but not so much different, because it's all governed by the natural laws of the universe and stuff, and the natures of the universe. So not so very different, these worlds, but a variation on each, yeah. So where they are, I don't know, whether they're all in our galaxy, all 200 worlds, or whether there's some in our galaxy and others in other galaxies, or all in their own galaxy. No idea. I don't have any idea where they are. But, I believe probably in enough time we would end up meeting each other, but that might be billions of years away for all I know. But it doesn't sound like anybody in our own spirit realm has met any of these people from other worlds yet. But, maybe they will one day, maybe not. But we'll see how it goes. So that's how it come about. So God has a green aura, Christ has a gold aura, and Peter has a purple aura. And, they're all significant to their natures and beings. So anyway, I'm going to leave it at that for this one, and, go on and make a few more videos quite soon. Love and light to you, Neil.